right, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is Tuesday, November 3rd, Election Day. And this is Vicki with My Paper Connection. And I'm going to go ahead and get started and just tell you a little bit about what we're doing today. I saw somebody do this recently, and I've done it before, but I've never done it with a piece of 6x6. So I thought I would give it a try and let's just see what happens. And there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. But what I did, I went ahead, because I had to practice, of course, I created a one-sheet wonder. This is my own design of what I did in order to use a 6x6 piece of paper and to create from one piece of designer series paper, I think it's 6 different cards. So I'll give you a really quick view. Here's one that I made. You can see this is designer series paper here. That's this piece, one of these pieces that I flipped upside down. This would be these 2 pieces right here. And then you've got the squares, the 2" by 2" squares. And then the 1.5 by 4. And then the 2 by 5 1/4, or 5 1/2, sorry. And then here is the one that is the other piece of the 2 by 4 that's cut into a triangle. I used the Curvy Celebration, I think it is. And what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to do another 6x6 one-sheet wonder, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently. And I've already pre-cut all of my cardstock so that it'll be really easy to do. Okay, let's try this again. Oh my goodness, it's been a long day, y'all. I hope that your day hasn't been quite as long as mine, but it has been. All right, so let me see if I can put this back together. What a fruitcake. Okay, so this is my 5 1/2 inch side. I'm going to do this 2 inches here. Then I'm going to do a 1 inch piece right here. And I'll show you how you can go about making 6 different cards, I believe it is, from this one piece of 6x6. Okay, so this I will cut off at 1.5. Yep, 1.5. And then I will cut this off. This is 3 inches, so I'll cut both of these at 2 inches. And I'm not going to use them the same way, and you'll see exactly how I will do it. Oh, I can't believe I did that. So I'll have to make another one just so I have it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of real red, and I've already been playing around a little bit just to see what it is that I can come up with. And I actually took, this is garden green. Now I'll show you, this designer series paper is garden green on this side, but on this side it's actually cherry cobbler. But I wanted to be able to just mix it up a little bit. Now obviously I can't use the cherry cobbler with the real red, but I can use it on top of the garden green. And that's what I'm gonna do. And by the time I'm done, this little piece right here is the only piece that will end up being wasted. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue that on. And I've already run this through. This is actually, it's about 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, I think. But I'm gonna go ahead and glue this on into this little section. This, I embossed it with an embossing folder, and it's a smaller embossing folder. And so it doesn't do the entire piece of it, but it does enough that whenever you're putting a narrow piece of paper on it like this, that it works just fine. So I'm just going to trim this off real quick. And as you pop on, I would love to hear who's on with me. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and I will fold this and just burnish it like that. There may not be as many people on tonight because they may be voting or they may be watching the election or whatever. I just felt like I needed to do something a little distracting that would get my mind off of all of it. I'm ready for the results to be done. And let's just move on, right? Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do, and already this looks pretty, don't you think? I mean, it's just red and garden green. Real red and garden green is perfect. even though that's a little tiny strip of what was left with my 6x6 paper, it's going to be really nice. So I'm going to bring in, I think I'm going to stamp with Real Red, and I'm going to bring in a piece of the Whisper White, and I'm going to use the sentiment that says Merry Christmas. For tonight's things, all the things I'm working with tonight, I'm using the stamp set Perfectly Plaid. And there are trees, different kind of trees in here that you can use. And I love this sentiment, Merry Christmas. Hi, Kathy. So I'm going to go ahead and just stamp this, and then I'm going to punch it out. I'm not even doing die cuts for anything tonight. I'm just using punches for everything. So I'm just going to close that up because I can be a wee bit messy. And then I'm going to use this Christmas tree that has plaid. So I'm going to just come in here and stamp it right here. I think my ink pad might be a little too juicy, but it's still going to be a pretty image. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Christmas tree and my Christmas tree punch and get that done. There we go. And I think that I will I think I'm going to use this one. This is the Story Label punch, and I'm just going to punch it out here. Oh, I should have went up a little bit more. Okay. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll go ahead and punch it out, and I'll stamp it again on the back side of it. No harm, no foul. Okay. As I'm making a big mess here all over the place. So you voted already? You're not watching it? Girl, I hear you. There's part of me that wants to watch just to see what's going on, and then a part of me is just so over it that I've done my part, and I'm just going to leave it to the Lord and the rest of it. I just can't stress out about it anymore. Okay, and I'm going to use the Label Me Lovely punch here, and I'm going to punch out. You can see I already punched one. I was kind of playing a little bit, and this is how I'm going to put my little piece together. I really like this punch. It really works for a lot of different things. So let me glue this on. Here we go. Yeah, this way. This Label Me Lovely, it's designed to go with the Label Me Fancy punch. But as you can see, this Story Label works really well with it as well. I didn't get it quite even. The postage, I think it's called the postage punch. The stamp punch. Goodness, let me try this again. The stamp punch works well with it. There is, I think the Timeless label works pretty well with the Label Me Fancy. They just coordinate pretty well with different ones. There we go. That works. And then I'll just put some dimensionals on the back. Okay. I went and got my fingers sticky. Isn't that the way it goes? Okay. So I'm going to put I think I'm going to overlap it just a little bit right here. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of the tree. I probably should have gotten an extra thing of dimensionals before I started this. And I'm just going to put the tree, I think I might put the tree down here. And I do have some ribbon that I'm just going to make a really quick bow. Since I'm making so many cards and they're from the One Sheet Wonder, I kind of feel like I need to hurry, so. Here we go. You can see I got sticky on my finger there. Sticky and glue. I've got so much going on this week. I have my online card class for November, and everything should be delivered tomorrow. So I still have to do the video for it, and I still have to do the PDF for it. And then I've got a Christmas countdown. It's the Advent calendar class on Sunday. It's a live class, and it will be here in Georgia with me. And I have got a video for my YouTube channel tomorrow. I got a lot going on, and I'm just really trying to keep all the plates twirling this week. Okay, I just wanted to put a little ribbon right there. Although, I don't know if I like it there. I might like it better. I like it better there. Yep. But I do have, let's see. I do have some stars. What do you think? Should I do that? Or should I do one of these? I don't really like the gold with it necessarily. Yes, I really like the stamp set too, and I'm really glad it carried over as well. I was going to be really sad to see it leave us if it did. I just heard my husband come home. Hopefully my dogs won't go crazy right about now. Oh yeah, this is going to do it. This is going to fix it right here. If I can get them on correctly. Yeah, we'll just put a few here and there. I really like these, not dimensionals, embellishments as well. They're kind of a matte finish, but they're really nice when you're not wanting to do a foo-foo kind of card, you know? Let me put one, I think, right there in the middle. I think that'll work. One more. Maybe right there. It's close enough, and I think it looks pretty that way. So that is a little bitty tiny piece of designer series paper. Okay, that's the tiniest piece, and as you saw before, the little piece that I cut off, that's the only part that's going to go to waste. It's like maybe a 1/2 inch by a 1/2 inch, or maybe 1/2 inch by 3/4 inch. Okay, this one is thick Whisper White, and I use the Parisian Flourish embossing folder for it, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue it down. I'm using the Real Red for this one, so obviously I'm going to be using the Garden Green color. Okay, so this is a piece, and I'll just tell you, I'm going to recreate this, and I'll have it on my website. I'll take a picture of it and have it on my website. But what you do is so if you have a piece that's cut 2 by 3, then your cardstock would need to be 2 1/4 by 3 1/4 at least. I mean, I guess you could do 2 1/8 by 3 1/8, but I just don't think it would show up quite as much. Okay, I'm going to put this piece right here. I think I'll just glue it on too. I don't think I'll use dimensionals. Put it right there. And I think I just may do the very same thing that I did for my sentiment. And just for time's sake, I don't hate it at all. I love that Merry Christmas. And so I'll just put that on here as well. I'm going to have to get some more white paper though. And will this one work? I wonder. I think I'll just keep it with this one, with the Storytime label. Punch it out. I don't know if I have enough of this paper left for the tree. Let me see. Goodness, I'm getting... Oh my gosh. I need to slow down. Okay. Just take it. Whew. Frushraba. What is that? Wait a minute. Let me just wipe this off. Anger Management. Have you ever seen the movie Anger Management with Adam Sandler? Adam Sandler. Yeah, that's his name. He needs to go to anger management, and one of the things that they do in therapy is they say Rouge Fraba or something like that to calm down. So that's been kind of a joke at our house whenever we need to just like take a chill. We do the Rouge Fraba thing. I don't think I'm saying it right, but you know what I'm saying. So I need to calm myself down and just get it done. My husband was teasing me earlier. We like Bob Ross. We like his painting stuff. And so a lot of times we'll end up watching him. Hey, Renee. Anyway, so we'll watch him, and he's so zen and so chilled, you know, that it's just really fun watching him. And so my husband was teasing me how, let me get a little bit of Real Red, how I needed to come on tonight and just talk about, you know, being in my happy place and all of that kind of stuff. And how I'm just going to put a happy little embellishment right here. And, you know, I just made a happy mistake and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if I'm quite as zen as Bob Ross. So, okay, so I'm going to put another one of these. Just put my sentiment right on here. And go ahead and use my dimensionals if I can lay my hands on them. So did everybody have a good day? It was a pretty good day for me. You love his advice. Yeah, I'm just going to put a little happy sentiment right along in here. He's a nut, my husband is. He's a funny guy. We have fun. Okay, and this is a little bit different tree than the other one that I did. I like this design as well. And I'm just going to put it over right along in here. There we go. And I think I'll use some embellishments on this one instead of the ribbon. Let's see, I might use some white. See how that goes. Put another one over here maybe, and maybe I'll put just a little red dot right there on top. That's cute. Super, super cute. Okay, so that's my second piece from my One Sheet Wonder. All right, so let's move on to the next one. I really had fun doing this today, playing with this and creating. So for this one, I'm using a piece of thick Whisper White. Whoops. And I already ran a piece of Cherry Cobbler that is 4 1/4. You know what? I spilled a little bit of water earlier. It got wet there. Let me see if I have another one. And of course, it was like 5 minutes before I was supposed to start. I knocked over my water thing and it was open. Okay, so this is 4 by 5 1/4, and the thick Whisper White is, of course, an A2, standard A2. And I ran this through an embossing folder just for time's sake already. I used the Tasteful Textures, I think it was. These are 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. And I did not cut these in half, I don't think. Nope, I didn't. Still need to do that, so hold on one second. So this is 1 1/2 by 3. I need to make it 1 1/2 by 1 1/2 and make it into 2 of them. So then I'll just put these on top of the little garden green pieces, like this. I made a One Sheet Wonder from an 8 1/2 by 11 piece that I actually had. What had I done? I had stamped it. I'd done background stamping, and so it turned out really cute. I mean, I think I used flourishing. No. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. It has really pretty flowers, and you can do two-step stamping, and it's really nice. So anyway, it turned out really cute, and I think I did a video with that. And I made a whole lot of cards doing that. Why can I not remember the name of that? Probably because it's been a long day. It had paper to match that looked like Monet paper in the last catalog. I've gone completely blank. Oh well. The stamp set is still available, but the paper was not. It didn't come back. Okay. All right, this is super simple. And I mean, it just goes to show you, you can do a lot with a 6x6 piece of paper. You know, you don't have to cover your whole thing with paper, with designer series paper, in order to make a pretty card. It can be really simple. And I tend to be more of the complicated type. I can tend to do too many layers, and I can just make it complicated but pretty and fun. But that kind of bites you in the hind end whenever you're doing classes, and there are people that aren't as up to the same. How do I want to say this? That they're new. If people are new, if they're new stampers, they can get intimidated by that. Okay. Now I am not sitting over the top of it, so it's hard for me to see if it is all level. Let's see. I'll just hold it up. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. All right, so how do I want to decorate this? Let me see. I think I'm just going to take a piece of the paper, and I'm just going to cut it to go down there. So now I need the cherry cobbler. I re-inked my cherry cobbler recently. I don't like that. And I can tend to get my block okay, so here's the thing too, is I've already pulled blocks for a class that I got coming up, because I know I have to work smart in this, because I'm so pressed on time that so I went ahead and pulled them. So I was like looking around, where are my blocks today, in the middle of everything. So anywho, okay, I'll just cut it about like that. Oh man, I got ink on there. Okay, well, I can easily fix that. Just turn it over, because our paper is double-sided, thankfully. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can do this without making a mess and getting it on straight. There we go, much better. Okay. All right. Are you guys you guys are participating? Oh my word. What in the world? I'm just like a hot mess here. Good grief. Okay. Please ignore me. Okay, good grief. Y'all just laugh with me, even though I'm not laughing that much. Are you guys going to be doing on stage? I am, and I'm really excited about it. I finally had time to sit down and look at the instructions, and I haven't cut my paper yet, but I've actually finally printed instructions and looked at it, and I'm excited about it. one of my downline is coming over and we're going to do it together. For those who watch this on YouTube and don't know what OnStage is, that's our yearly big convention. It was supposed to be in Salt Lake City, and unfortunately, because of COVID, we're not going to be able to do this year. So, anywho, all right. So now I'm going to use some of the. I'm going to pull in some of the Most Wonderful gems, and just going to just put some here and there. I have another pack because that pack is almost empty, and of course I cannot lay my hands on it. Oh well. I'm not loving that. Okay. That's better. That's getting there. It's amazing what you can do with some embellishments. Okay. Much better. It reminds you of a quilt. Yes, I agree. It does. And normally, with plenty of paper, I probably would have done these a little smaller, and I would have done a square on each one of those, but I would have flipped the colors. But because you were dealing with, okay, so Renee, you weren't here when I first started out. This is how I started out my night. Cutting my design, cutting my thing instead of cutting the actual paper. So anyway, because you're dealing with a limited amount of paper, you know, you just can't put it on all of it. What about that? What do you think of that? That's an extra one that I had. What do you guys think of that? Should I do that? I kind of like it. I think I am. I think I'm going to go ahead and put some on here. I don't usually like to add dimensionals on top of dimensionals because it can get a little too thick, but I think I'm going to. It just felt like it needed something right there in the middle. Yes, I like that better. That does it, I think. Okay, I got 3 more. I'll try to make it quick. All right, so here is Cherry Cobbler as my base. I'm going to use a piece of the white. And for this one, I'm using the 1 inch by, I'm not going to need it at 5.5. I'm only going to need it at 5.25. But I will trim it off after I get it glued on. That'll make it easier. And then that way I'll also know that it will be, you know how sometimes when you can cut them what you think is the same every time, but then when you put it on, it might be a little bit shorter. I don't know how that happens. It's a mystery to me. But this way, you know you're going to have it at the same. So I'll just go back here, trim this off, and do it right here. I probably should have done the, no, I like it like that. That's going to be good. I was going to say I probably should have done the Cherry Cobbler side, and I will on the next ones. But I think this will be good since I've got the green. And I'm going to pretend like I planned it that way. Seeing how I've struggled with some other things tonight, I'm going to pretend like I planned it that way. How's that? Goodness, I've been a hot mess. Oh, I love those colors like that. That looks so good together. And it just goes to show you, you don't have to have a huge amount of designer series paper to really make a pretty card. Okay. All right, so I'm going to bring in my cherry cobbler this time and use the white. Hi, Carol. I'm so glad you caught me too. Thank you for joining me. You've missed me messing and gamming tonight. That's what I've been up to. I've had ink all over my hands. It's been interesting, but it's fine. It's all good. And I just got it all over it again. Okay. All right. So, let me see. I don't know if this is going to. I want to use a different punch this time. Okay. I don't know if this will fit inside of there or not. Maybe I'll just do my trick where I use the. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Goodness gracious, what is happening here? You ever have those nights where everything goes perfectly, and then you have those nights where things don't? Yeah, tonight's one of those nights. The last one that I did, everything went so well, and I was just calm and cool, and I mean, everything worked like clockwork. Not tonight, but that's okay. I'm gonna keep my cool. I may put on some happy embellishments and just, I don't know, go to a happy place. There we go. Okay. That's such a great trick. I learned that through my friend Sandra, who's my upline. Okay, I found my embellishments. They were on the floor. Happy trees. Yes, I'm going to add some happy trees for sure and for certain. Okay, so let me grab my dimensionals, because I can't lay my hands on the big ones. You get in the middle of doing these things and you've had everything right there at your hands, and then you lay it down in the middle of doing a live, and then all of a sudden in this mess of a desk, you can't see them. It's like they're gone. It's just the weirdest thing. That is really, it's simple, but it's really pretty, I think. You know something? I'm not going to use the embellishments. I'm going to use I had the braided linen. I'm going to use braided linen on it, or braided trim. This has probably been one of the ones that I've used more than anything. I use this so often. It just feels like it could go with a little bit of country, maybe. What current label punch do I use the most? You mean like for sentiments, Carol? Is that what you're saying? Oh, I like that. If you're talking about for sentiments, I probably use the Label Me Fancy and the Label Me Lovely more than anything at this point. This is the Label Me Fancy, and it goes perfectly with the Label Me Lovely. It also works really, really well with the Timeless label. And so I found myself using that quite a bit lately. That's very simple. But I think the bow just kind of goes with the simple. I like that. Okay, 2 more, working quickly. All right, so this is going to be a cherry cobbler as well. Clean some of this off a little bit. And I'm using Garden Green with it, which is the color on the opposite side of the paper. And I'm going to use the cherry cobbler this time. So let's get this on here. I did the Tasteful Textiles or Textures embossing folder with this. I tell you what, it's amazing how an embossing folder can just change the looks of a card, change the looks of paper, so that, I mean, it just, I don't know, it just really, okay, so I said I was going to use the cherry cobbler, but I don't know. I'm feeling kind of like Garden Green. What do you think? I kind of feel like I need to use the cherry cobbler, but I'm really liking the Garden Green on that. I think I'm going to go with the Garden Green. When I get done, I'll show you the cards that I did using the Curvy Celebrations. Well, I showed it at the beginning, but some of you weren't on here at that point. So I'll show you again in just a minute. It was my first time like using like this type of a thing, where I came up with a design and then cut them and then just went with it from there. And I really liked how they turned out. I created the design and I thought, I really want some triangles. And then I did the triangles and then I wasn't really sure what to do with them. And so I ended up being pretty happy with it. I'm going to flip it around like this. It's got to have a happy tree. So I think I'm going to use this one where there's a little bit more of the white showing. And I'll just come right here. Pull out my tree punch. Yep, I'm liking where that's going. Let me get my white back and my cherry cobbler back and my sentiment. It's amazing to me how my sentiment can be almost at the opposite end of the table. Okay. I don't know if this one will work or not. I don't know if it's large enough. It's kind of cramped to do it that way. Let's see about this one. I pulled out a variety. Oh yeah, that fits. Okay. Alrighty. And let's see. Let's see if we can make this work. I think we can. Yep, that's going to work. That's going to work great. Just need to not get it down all the way until I figure out my spacing on it. Thank goodness for Tombow. Alrighty. Yeah, I should have gotten another package of my larger dimensionals. Yes, Carol, I do wish that my supplies would speak. that they would just say, here I am, here I am. Because I'm all the time misplacing stuff. I feel like it needs something to soften it up a little bit. I don't have a cherry cobbler ribbon. I may just use I think I'll put it right here. And I just may use the braided linen trim, braided trim again. We were in St. Louis over the weekend. Whoops, sorry, I just hit it with my head. And well, up until last Thursday. So I've been moving and shaking, trying to get back in the swing of things and get caught up again. My best friend's daughter was married. She got married, and it was such a pretty wedding. Okay. There we go. Glue dot. I find it really weird with the glue dots on the paper instead of on the roll. I haven't quite got used to that yet. And I think it was a mistake. I don't think it was meant to be that way permanently. But so I don't have to completely get used to it. But then again, about the time I get used to it this way, I'll get one that's the right way. So there is that. Okay. And I think I am going to add and do something a little different. I'm going to add some gold to it to go along with that and just kind of mix it up a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to like it, but we'll see. I don't think I am, so I don't think I'm going to add that. You never know until you get ready to do it, right? Okay, that is not fully colored one. There we go. Okay, that's good. All right, so that's my fifth one. This is the last one. And this is using one 6x6 sheet of paper. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. It's always more fun when other people are around to keep you company. Okay, I'm going to take this off real quick because this is a casualty. I just saw a little bit of white on there that when the water spilled earlier. So I can't have that. I'm a perfectionist in recovery, but some of it I don't want to completely recover from. I still want to do things with quality and do them well. I don't want to bind myself up with perfectionism, but I still want to do things well. All right, I am going to use the cherry cobbler on this side. And just put it on like this. I really thought going into this I was going to use a lot more of the cherry cobbler than I was the garden green. And I've just been going crazy with the garden green. Okay. I wonder how it would look like this though. Yeah, I'm going to go this way. Okay, and let's see. We're going to use the Label Me Lovely. that I now have cherry cobbler ink all over. And I think I'm going to go back to the story label and use my white paper with my sentiment and cherry cobbler. Just going to keep it in the cherry cobbler family this time. There we go. I don't know. I think my thing must be juicy because I just touched it and it spread. Okay. I'm just going to let it sit a second. I don't want to spread it again. I keep leaning over and hitting the phone with my forehead. I keep miscalculating. I am off my game tonight. But I'm glad you guys are hanging out with me anyway. Okay. I really like that put together like that. And then my dimensionals are here. I'm going to have fun cleaning my desk off of all these little dimensional tabs. I pick them off and just toss them while I'm doing this. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I like that. Let me move over just a tad. So now I don't know if I need to go with the most wonderful gems or if I need to use the gold or I kind of like the idea of using these. Let's see. Oh yeah, I like that. I think I'm going to use the white ones though. Oh yes, that's it. Yep, that is it right there. I don't know that it needs another one. Maybe I'll just put it like that. That's simple, but it's pretty. Okay, let me close my ink up so I don't wear it again. So I am done with my one sheet wonder. Okay, so here we go. That's the tiniest piece. And this is what I came up with. I really like them. Really, really like them. Okay, and I will recreate this and I will have it on my website. So if you want to copy it, you can. Since I started off the night cutting it apart like a goofball. But this little piece right here, actually it was about maybe a ½ inch, was the only piece that didn't end up getting used out of the whole thing. And so I think that's making pretty good use of your paper. And I think they turned out really well. Here's the ones that I made using this design that I also came up with. And I used the plaid tidings and the quite curvy stamp set. Not the Christmas one, but the other one. And I really like the little birds. These came out super, super cute. See, I just flipped it over here. So I came out with a whole different type. But I love them all. I think they all turned out really cute. I needed to make some Christmas cards, and I'm super, super happy with the way these turned out. So anyway, that is it for me. Next week, I'll be going live on a Monday, instead of a Tuesday because I have a live card class at my house on Tuesday night. So hopefully you guys can meet up with me then as well. And I'm not really sure what my content will be just yet, but it'll be fun. We'll have a great time. Yes, Renee, get the Storytime punch. It is such a nice punch. And you can do the same thing of, you saw how I did that one and cut it apart. You can cut that one apart and do it as well. You can see how it works really nicely with it. I've actually put it inside of a 2-inch circle as well, and that looks really nice. I have a little embellishment container. I put the dimensionals back. Put the dimensional backs in. Yeah. Thank you, Carol. All right, that's it. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I hope you guys have a good evening, and see you next time.